Hello. Before I jump into game one of the Megga VOD review for FNCS Solo Finals, um, quick disclaimer: I am SwiftXWater on Twitch. I am one of Megga's Twitch moderators as well as his Discord admin, and I've been following Megga for over 2 years. I'm a huge fan. But this me VOD reviewing is not, me trying to make him seem like he's super great. I mean, obviously he's a great player, but it's just me just being interested in Fortnite and wanting to kind of take a deeper dive into how Megga continues to be so consistent with his placements in these huge tournaments. And with that said, let me also just say that I have no real credentials to suggest that you should listen to anything that I say about what's good and what's bad in Megga's playstyle or in anyone's playstyle in Fortnite. I have been playing Fortnite for a long time. I'm by no means a pro. I'm by no means super good, but I'd like to think that I have a decent amount of knowledge about the game. So take it or leave it. What I say, if you disagree, I'd be happy to hear about it in the comments, or you can keep it to yourself. Whatever you want to do. I'm open for conversation about good things and bad things about what I say, or so. Just know that I'm not claiming that I am the ultimate authority on all things Fortnite by no means. This is just for really me to learn more about the game and more about, in this case, Megga's playstyle, and also hopefully that some people can also learn from it as well. That would be really cool if that happened. So, yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoy. All right, launching straight into the gameplay from Megga in the FNCS Invitational Finals from this May in 2020. We're going to be looking at all 12 games. Some of them will be rather quick, as some of them are the higher placements, like this one, game 6 in 85th place. But as you can see, a lot of Megga's games, he doesn't get a lot of kills, but as you can see, still placed 5th in the FNCS Invitational Finals with very little kills. So average elims 1.1 per game. If you look at Furious, for contrast, average elims 2.4. So that's double the amount of elims on average. 116 points on Furious here at 116 points from just elims. Megga with 52 points just from elims. So quite a difference, but Megga still manages to place 5th. So really that just means that he gets a lot of points from placement. And as you can see, 10th place, 13th place, 2nd place, 17th place, 15th place, 3rd place, 9th place, 2nd place. So 13th place here again. So a lot of points from placement, which means that he is probably consistent with rotations and consistent in the way in game that he's able to get away from people, probably. I mean, he does end up getting kills, and most of these kills, as we'll see, come in the late game. He probably tends to avoid early game fights and then just gets kills in the late game. So without further ado, let's jump right into the first game. Probably lots of nerves going on in game 1. I'm not really sure. Megga is quite experienced, so quite experienced in the pro tournaments that have been going on since the beginning. I mean, I think Megga and Zayd are like the only ones to have qualified in pretty much every single event, if not every single event. So sometimes this is super weird and doesn't load everyone in, so I'm just going to go ahead and load in the end of the game here, which will force it to actually pull up and load Megga's point of view. Alright, so here's gameplay. So quickly, let's just talk about where he lands normally, but as we'll see later in these games, he doesn't always actually end up landing here, at least in one game I know for sure. So Megga normally lands down here at the different colorful houses. I'm not really sure what people are calling these, but there's just those different colorful, there's like 4 or 5 different houses, little tiny houses down here on the shore. This is where he lands. And I'm not sure in this tournament if he's contested. I know he's been contested before in other tournaments. We'll find out. And then most often makes this rotation here through into the woods and the shore here right next to the rig, and loots what he can. I think it's oftentimes already kind of looted, but then he just loots that and then rotates the circle. And I mean, even sometimes, as we'll see, I think even if the storm is over here, I think he still tries to hit this and get a couple loot just a little bit more, because you don't get a ton of loot from here. The whole idea, though, looting these houses here on the shore is I mean, obviously to get floppers, and hope to get some slurpfish as well, and then just rotate out. And here the battle bus for game 1, coming across here, actually coming this way, and then the circle looks like it ends near the water over here, next to near Slurpee. Okay, so let's get back into the gameplay. And I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward this. We should see him kind of scouting just a little bit, or he's kind of low, so maybe he doesn't get to scout here. Looks like a really low landing. It looks like he tried to scout a little bit there, but I don't know. I think he's probably worried about even making it here. Okay, so of course, just looting. Doesn't look like anyone is here. He doesn't seem too concerned about there being anyone here. Okay, I apologize if there's a skip or something here. My game crashed. It's like that weird crash bug, that application hung thing. I don't know. I think it's happening to other people, but it might just be me. But we're back, and now he's just fishing, of course. Let's take a look at his loadout. Blue AR, it's good. It's decent. Gray pump, not very good. 3 bigs, 3 minis, pretty good. He's gonna get some fish here. Looks like he has probably, I think I saw another slurp, so he might have 2 slurps. So it's a huge advantage of this location. Is that, I mean, look at the fish. He has 3 floppers. I mean, I'm sure he would like to have 4, but 3 is pretty good, and 2 slurp fishes, which is really, really good. Slurp fish are probably the best item in the game, or best healing item in the game. All right, get some tags here. Per usual, you know, he always wants to look for early game tags. This guy is out here trying to eat the mushrooms, which, by the way, Megga wants. That's part of the reason why he rotates over here. He wants to get these mushrooms to give himself full shield, because then he gets to save his slurpfish and his big shields, right? So he dropped the minis for the slurpfish, the floppers, and he kept the 3 bigs. But he doesn't want to eat any of these or drink them, because he wants to come over here and get these containers and those mushrooms that guy was just using. So the guy took the mushrooms, but he gets to come over here and get these slurp containers anyway. Should be able to get to full shield here, even though he also got tagged by that guy. So just, I think we're going to see that in all of these games, him rotating here to try to get full shield, to save his slurpfish and his shield and his big shield or minis for rotations, because when he's rotating, he's going to be getting tagged, so he needs to have the shield to heal up. Now, there's a guy right here in this box. I mean, in this house. I think he heard him. Yeah, he heard him. He heard him move, which if he hadn't moved, that could have been really, really bad, because he would have been ambushed there, looking for one more container for that 4 shield. But he moved. FaZe tilt, I think it was. He moved a little bit. Megga heard him and was able to get away before being ambushed. Okay, so circle is down here in the southern part of the map, which is good for him, right? So he rotated. He rotates from here down into this part. I mean, this is just a normal part of his rotation, is to come this way. So, I mean, he was just given the circle as part of his rotation here. So definitely not a bad circle for him. Picks up the 4 extra shield. Or is it? Yeah, I mean, I think it's just delayed, probably. How did that not give him the 4 shield? Because he was jumping? I think that's what it was. He was jumping and it wasn't giving it to him, so it only gave him 2 shield, but it's fine. Basically, practically full health. He's going to pick up some more fish here, which is, I mean, brilliant. So he gets a 3rd slurpfish and a 4th flopper. I mean, he doesn't really get better than that in terms of health and shield. That's just perfect for being able to take tags from people. So, I mean, in that situation, when you have 4 floppers and 3 slurpfish, Like, you know for sure that you can go for tags on people, and if you get tagged back, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Like, you definitely need to be tagging people for Storm Surge. Like, anyway, like, you have to do that anyway in these games. And you just know that you're probably going to get tagged at some point. But when you have 3 Slurpfish, 3 big shields, and 4 floppers, it's kind of like, I can be a little bit more risky and make sure that I get some tags so that I don't end up dying to Storm Surge. Because if I get tagged, I can just heal back up. I mean, obviously you don't want to get tagged, but... Okay, rolling up here. Eclipse Ace to his left. He probably sees him over there. Boxes up just to get this wood. Oh, because he's in zone. Okay, so he's boxing up here to chill in zone. Let's take a look. Okay, so zone pulled here, and he is now... where did he go? So here's Tilt. He passed by. Tilt was trying to ambush him, and then Megga just rotated up here. So he's going to box up here. He's close to the center of the circle. So there's a decent chance that he'll get the next circle, but even if he doesn't, he's going to be relatively close to it because he's close to the center of this circle. So in a good position here. And he heard, I'm sure he heard Eclipse A coming up, so he probably didn't want to push any deeper. He probably just wanted to go ahead and box up just to be safe before he gets tagged by other people. Gets a nice 44 tag there on that guy, so that's going to be good for Storm Surge. He's 121 above Storm Surge, so those tags paid off, right? So he was able to get those early tags on, I can remember who that was early, and then just got that 44 there. So now he's 114 above, 111 above. It's pretty safe. He's still going to be looking for tags here just in case. Just in case he drops below. $89 above. No one's really pressuring him. No one's really shooting at him. I mean, he probably feels pretty safe at this point. But man, it's always crazy when, you know, one person starts shooting at one person and then everyone starts shooting at them. It's always a chance that could happen to you. In these games anyway. Gonna go ahead and rotate like pretty much as soon as the zone pulls here. So as I said, he was really close to the center of the circle. So he was like right here or something, right? So he was able to just rotate really quickly. Yeah, so he was like over here. He sees the zone pull. He knows he's really close. He's been scouting all down here, right? He's been looking down here. He knows there's not really anyone down here. He knows that people are here, but he knows they can just make this rotate pretty quickly and get into this circle and just be safe as soon as possible rather than waiting. I mean, if he's here, he knows the people are going to be here, and he could wait for them to rotate and take tags. But again, Megga is a safe player. He plays for placement, and he's going to get kills late game. He's not trying to start anything crazy here in the mid game. So goes ahead and rotates really early, as soon as possible, really. Gets tagged there a little bit. He's going to be all right, though. He's just trying to farm up a little bit of wood to get max wood. He's only 300 metal, which isn't too bad, but, you know, gets tagged again. Gonna go ahead and drink a big shield. So now down to 2 big shields. I mean, still sitting really fine on shield and heals. I mean, it's like, really the only thing is just this great pump, which everyone knows hits for nothing, so. But other than that, I mean, his loadout is great, and doesn't have a lot of AR ammo, which I haven't mentioned that. I mean, that's another reason he might not be sitting out waiting for people to rotate to shoot them. He only has 51 AR ammo. He's got to be really conservative with his AR ammo, so the tags that he goes for, he needs to be, you know, sure that he's going to be able to get them, because he doesn't want to waste ammo. And that's another thing about his landing spot. It's not a whole lot of ammo that he's going to be gathering from his landing spot. So he's just playing, you know, the way that he has to play for where he lands and his rotation. So, you know, someone that lands Grotto and wins Grotto, they're going to come out of Grotto with like infinite ammo. They can probably you know, sit themselves in positions to where they can just spam people as they're rotating. But Megga does not have the ammo for that, so he has to play to what he has, to the kit that he has. Okay, so the next circle pulls here, and he's not in. He wasn't far again. It didn't have far to go, but now there's quite a few people kind of dense here in this area. And you can see that having an effect on him in the game here, as people are right in front of him in the circle, and he's right outside of the circle, but he has to go ahead and box up just to stay safe. He's gonna kind of wait here and then make a move once he feels like, you know, no one's looking at him. Gets in. Looks like somebody took that wall from him. I want to see how he protects himself here, because it seems to be what he's really good at, right? He's not getting into fights. He's placing really well in almost every game and comes in 5th in this tournament with very little kills. So he must be good at avoiding confrontation. So I kind of want to see, you know, in all these situations, how he avoids So he's taking his wall right there. He a little bit of a late delay. I mean, it sometimes can be hard to hear when, you know, other people are shooting and stuff. So Stretch takes his wall here, and it was a metal wall too. I don't think it was fully built, so it might have been 2 hits. I don't know. Instantly turns around, builds a ramp, and edits out. He wanted to do a box jump here. So he wanted to place this wall, floor, probably. I'm just assuming that he wanted to place wall, land on the floor, and then continue, and then finish the builds. It's just a normal thing. Just a box jump. Fails the floor, though. Has built all the walls, fails the floor, drops on the ground, but then just jumps up and builds the floor, and he's fine. I mean, Stretch could have probably made some edit play in this brick wall here and shot him, but I mean, it's just kind of risky. He's going to go ahead and replace that wall that Stretch took. He's just trying to stay as safe as possible. Now he's back in his original box. Alright, very dense area of people here. I mean, he's definitely not on the dead side of the circle. So dead side of the circle will definitely be over here. I mean, if you look at, well, I mean, I don't know how everybody ended up over here. I guess it looks like everyone just tried to rotate into the dead side, and so the dead side now ends up not being the dead side. That's actually kind of interesting. Or I mean, okay. So a couple of things. It could be that there are multiple people trying to rotate to the dead side of the circle, and when that happens, if it happens successfully, then that dead side of the circle is no longer the dead side of the circle, right? 2, actually potentially 3 things here. Number 2, no one wants to rotate through this water because you're just exposing yourself massively. It's just a really sketchy area to be in. Like, having to swim through this water is terrible. So if you're coming from Lazy, Retail, Dirty, Grotto, Frenzy, and you're coming down, you don't want to go through this water, right? So if you see this circle, you're going to try to make some sort of other rotation. You're going to rotate around this way or around this way. Third thing would be that some people might have come in on boats, down this way and then up through here. I don't know. I mean, I could go back and look, but I don't really, it's beyond the scope of me just trying to VOD review Megga here. But it is interesting and something to think about that this side of the circle, like, look how many people are here. It's kind of crazy, actually, that, I mean, no one really, there's just a couple people who land here, right? This is just a part of a couple of people's normal rotation, all this land down here. And yet here we have the vast majority of the lobby at the bottom part of the circle. So it's an interesting rotation. Okay. So just chilling in a box. Quite literally, just chilling here. Oh, no, just kidding, it was lagging. All right, so scouting. It's a 22 tag, wow. 22 tag on the guy in the water. Like I said, you really don't want to be in the water. It's such a sketchy place to be. I mean, these people on this island are just like praying that they get the circle. It's just such a bad place to be. He was able to get a 22 white on that guy, and then someone else picks up the kill. But still, I mean, quite healthy. Basically full health, full shield. quite a lot of shield and health, white heals. So all he wants to do now is just stay safe, not put himself into any crazy situation, and just make clean rotations. But I'm sure that he knows that there's like a million people around him. And there's 57 people still in this lobby. And he's looking down here and there's no one here. And he can hear all the activity happening right around him, right? So it's like, how do I stay safe here? So this guy just comes running right at him. And he just lands a nice 70 pump, but doesn't push it, you know? Like, again, not really trying to do anything crazy. Doesn't push right up behind him is what I mean, which is, I would probably have just pushed into that guy and he would have probably taken the wall and edited on me and killed me, right? But Megga plays a much safer route and goes back into his builds and then kind of finds where this guy is, breaks his floor, gets a white tag on him, but then the guy's able to build walls and ramps, so Megga just kind of backs up, and he also took damage in the process, so he's gonna go ahead and heal back up to 86 shield here with a one big shield. Yeah, and just as a side note, you should always use, if you have big shields and slurpfish, you should always be using your big shields when you are in a safe place to heal, right? Like you shouldn't be using your slurpfish if you also have big shields and you're just chilling in a box. If no one's pushing you, use your big shields. Don't be using your slurpfish. It's pretty much common sense, but you know, sometimes people don't think about things like that. Your slurpfish should be used. Your slurpfish should be used when you're in a predicament, when you don't have time to get off your big shield. Okay, so here comes Stretch, who pushed him earlier, by the way, coming through his area, and Megga's able to make a nice little window edit and land a nice pump shot. But again, gray pump, you know. I'm sure he wishes at this point he had a purple pump or something. Can't finish off Stretch there, but trying to push into him. He sees the floor. He's gonna try to knock him down, but Stretch is able to build and prevent that from happening. Still going for it, not able to make it happen. Alright, just trying to be really aware of everything that's going on around him. Just trying to like peek out in every sort of line of sight just to gain information as much as possible, because he knows, you know, the circle's going to be closing in 20 seconds. He's going to have to figure out how he's going to rotate to the next circle. So you want to have as much information as possible, and it looks like he's doing that. Well, now he's just kind of chilling, but at this point you're probably thinking, do I listen for and wait for a launch pad because he doesn't have one? Or do I just try to rotate early, depending on where the zone is? So he gets, well, I mean, this circle isn't really good for anybody. So this is kind of the worst case scenario for pretty much everyone. I'm imagining that pretty much everyone is going to find a launch pad here. Like I don't know. But a lot of people are probably about to die. So 43 people going into this zone. Zone's going to move in 20 seconds. Let's see how many people there are when this zone starts moving, and then how many people are left when it closes. So Megga's up in his cone, now he's really gathering information, right? Because in a cone he can see everything around him. He knows that Stretch is there, but he's just trying to figure out what he's gonna do here. Yeah, so lots of launch pads being placed. He's gonna go for this launch pad, lands a pump and a AR shot on that guy, but also gets tagged quite a bit. Goes ahead and takes the launch pad, which, like I said, I mean, everyone's going to be pretty much taking a launch pad here. Looks like he's going to try to connect here to this guy. Yeah. So that dude gets killed. He's going to go ahead and connect there and heal up. Boxes himself up and heals. He's going to try to push tilt here, which is an interesting decision, right? I mean, he's not quite in the zone yet. I mean, no one is, because it's not even possible yet. But I don't know. I mean, he could have continued just kind of tarping in there, because he was kind of ahead of everyone. Could have just continued to tarp and get in, but chooses to push tilt here. Takes the wall. Oh, picks up a nice tack. Gets pumped for a lot. Almost dies there, actually. I mean, yeah, I don't know if that's worth it. I mean, he gets a gold tack. I mean, from a gray pump to a gold tack is quite the upgrade. But goodness, he's in such a bad position now. I mean, takes so much damage. Has to use so much shield there. Okay, so there was like 40 people, and the zone there's now 23. So basically half the people died in that rotation. And Megga makes it out, but you know, had to use all his big shields, all the slurp fish, and 2 floppers to do it, all to gain no ammo and a gold tack and a heavy sniper. I mean, maybe that's worth it. I don't know. I think that he could have just continued to tarp in and just been ahead of everyone, and then just kind of boxed in and then looked for picks. But maybe he just really needed a refresh. I don't know. All right, so has to eat another flopper here, and is definitely gonna eat another one when he gets in. So now has no shield, no white heals, 100 health. Tries to heavy snipe into this box, is unsuccessful. The guy hears him coming and just holds the wall, so he's unable to get in. It's furious. Okay, so I mean, oh, I missed his first kill. He did get a kill there too. So I mean, I guess it's worth it. He gets the 4 points from the kill. During that rotation, he gets the 4 points from this kill here, and then gets this loot, but then takes a whole bunch of damage and has to use all of his healing just to get into the night circle. I mean, to me, I guess it's worth it because he also gets this kill on Furious. If he didn't get this kill on Furious and he would just died, then it definitely would not have been, to me, a worth it thing. But I mean, because he like literally one-tacks Furious here, I mean, that's 2 kills is pretty decent, I guess. Now just rotating, building, protecting himself from all angles, box up and metal here. He's just gonna try to play for as long as he can. Tarps a little bit, boxes up, extends his box here, just trying to stay safe. Gets rocketed down though. Now there's people everywhere, right? So there's people on this wall spraying him, and then this wall was not his. Just gets edited on and shot and killed. So I don't know. I mean, ends up coming in 10th place still. Like that's. I feel like though, this zone was just so bad. And so many people died, and that played into his favor. That so many people died early because of this zone. I don't know. Man, that's a weird. It's a weird zone and a weird decision, but I don't know. Like I said, I think it's sort of worth it because he gets up 2 kills, but he really wasn't able to use. I don't know. It's like he wasted all the healing. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that he played it correctly, or should he have continued to tarp in? You can let me know. I don't know. Hey, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I know this helps me to learn to do VOD reviews. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like, you can leave a comment, you can hit subscribe. I plan on doing all 12 games from Megga, and then if things go well, maybe I'll VOD review some other people as well. I really do think it's a great way to learn. I hope that you have benefited in some way from watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please do go check out the next videos in which I'm covering the next 11 games from Megga.